Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the Isupk coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commanding General Yohana. Since 1969, we've been bringing out this truth that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews of the Bible. And we've also been showing what we've got to do to come back to being the highest nation or the most, the lead nation on the face of this earth. Because right now we're at the bottom, the very bottom. But the Lord said that He's gonna allow us to be on top of all these other nations. You feel me? But it's first something that we must do. You see what I'm saying? This is the Wednesday night biblical law class. We're gonna get into these scriptures. We're gonna show that the law is still in effect today. We still gotta keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. It's things that we still gotta do for the Most High to return back to us. You understand? Like for so long we've shunned the Most High and His laws and His statutes and His ways, you know. And we took on the customs of these heathen nations. We've done what these heathen nations have done. But the one thing that separates us from Him is the Most High has chosen us to be His holy people. Holy meaning separate people. We're not like any other nation on the face of this earth. You understand? And this is what we're going to find out, you know, here in the Isupk. So if you're online, you know, if you happen to catch this, just know that this is not by no coincidence that you're seeing this program. You see what I'm saying? Like the Most High is calling you. How the scripture says, many are called, few are chosen. You're being called right now. You see what I'm saying? Answer that calling. You see what I'm saying? As we draw closer to the end, we're going to start seeing that line that separates righteous from unrighteous. You're going to start seeing it more. You're going to start seeing, you know, fake Israelite groups commit more wickedness openly. You see what I'm saying? Like they already doing it, but it's going to be more open. You understand? The Lord is going to separate His flock from everybody else. He's going to separate His pasture. You understand? And this is what's going to happen as we draw closer to the end. So if you hearing this, if you seeing this broadcast, man, if you're in tune with the Isupk, the Most High is calling you, get into these classes. If you're in Baltimore, we got a brand new school, 3428 Eastern Avenue. This is where you want to be at. This is where you want to experience brotherhood. This is where you're going to learn about the Bible. This is where you're going to learn not just to read the Bible, but to actually do the Bible. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people can quote scriptures. You know, a lot of people say this, that, and the third about the Most High. But at the end of the day, you got to live these scriptures. You see what I'm saying? It's not good enough for you just to know them or hear them. You actually got to do something with the knowledge that you can give it. You see what I'm saying? This is what Commanding General Yohana has done. He's taken that van and he's ran with it. You understand? And in return, he's raised all of us brothers up behind him. You understand? And this is why the Isupk, we say we home of the truth. You feel me? We home of the truth because this is what you're going to learn what the Most High requires of us, and we're going to do what the Most High requires of us. If I could, let me get Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 9.
Proverbs 28 and 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayers shall be abomination.
He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even their prayers are an abomination. So, you know, a lot of times, like, a person to hear biblical laws, or we talk about statutes and commandments of this Bible, and it's like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's old school stuff. We ain't got to do that no more. Them dudes is bugging. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't have that spirit. Don't have that attitude. You see what I'm saying? You got to hear, meaning like, if you can understand what I'm saying to you right now, you see what I'm saying? Don't walk away from this. Don't turn your ear away from this. You see what I'm saying? Because your prayers are then counted as an abomination, meaning that the Lord takes no part in it. You see what I'm saying? And if the Lord, how the scripture says, the Lord is for you, who can be against you? But if the Lord is against you, He ain't hearing your prayers. What hope do you have in this earth, in this world? You see what I'm saying? Like it's heavy that we come back to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, doing what the Most High has told us to do. Because Though we've been taught to be individuals, we are one nation. We suffer as a nation. You understand? Like we suffer together as one nation. And it don't matter if you got money, it don't matter if you're educated, it don't matter if you living in the hills amongst the heathens, you see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you're still counted as a black, Hispanic, or Native American man, woman, or child. You see what I'm saying? None of that matters. So at the end of the day, if the Most High, this world is already against us. So if the Most High turns his back on you, on us as a people, you see what I'm saying? Like what do we have to strive for? You know, you see what I'm saying? Like what do we have to work hard for? What can we obtain? You understand? Don't turn your ear away from hearing this law. Because when you pray, your prayer is counted as an abomination. You see what I'm saying? This is what we don't. We need all our prayers heard at this point. Because we have every nation on the face of this earth coming up against us. You see what I'm saying? We don't need the Most High against us at this point. You know, for so long we've had the Most High. We've been on the wrong end of the whipping stick with the Most High. We've been receiving these curses and these punishments. You know, we got to try something different. We actually got to come up out of this Christianity, this Islam, all these different false religions, these fake Israelite roots. We got to come out of these things. We got to come out of that beast. You understand? We got to come out of that beast and come home, which is the Isupk under Commander General Yohana. You understand? You know, but let me get Amos chapter 3 verse 2. So often, like, we've been beat down so much, and we so accustomed to being punished that when it comes to us receiving blessings, we can't even receive them because it don't feel right. When we receive a blessing from the Most High promised us something. It almost seems so far-fetched because we're just destroyed as a people right now. You understand? And a lot of times what we do is we try to give our blessings away to these other nations. You know, but contrary to what these Christian churches teach, you feel me? The Most High is only dealing with the nation of Israel.
Amos what? Amos what?
Amos chapter 3, verse 2. The Most High is only dealing with Israel. You see what I'm saying? We're going to get this in the scripture. These are not my words. These are the words of the Most High coming out of the scripture. Let me get that scripture book to show.
Come. Amos 3 and 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. There's over 18. There's 18 families on the face of the earth. You understand? Right now we have so many different nations and stuff like that, modern term, you know, different split offs from different families and stuff like that. But according to the scriptures, there are 18 families on the face of the earth. In Amos chapter 3 and verse 2, Most High said, "You only have I known of all the families of the earth." So that would explain to us why when we do wrong, we get punished. You see what I'm saying? When we do crime, we go to jail. When we commit sexual immorality, you understand, we get diseases and we die. You understand? Here's the thing, these heathen nations, they do that far worse than us. You understand? They do it at a higher tune, they do it even more demonic. You understand? But it seems like they flourish in their wickedness. They flourish in their wickedness because the Most High is not dealing with them. You understand? Like, the scriptures say, like, the covenant is between the Most High and Israel. So if you're not a part of that covenant, it's like, if you go and buy a vehicle, you purchase a vehicle, and you sign that contract is between you and that car dealer. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is like, if you can't pay your bill, that's not going to fall to the next man. You see what I'm saying? He just can't. If he want that contract, a contract would then have to be made between him and that car dealership. He can't just hop into your agreement or your covenant that you made with this car dealership. It's the same thing with the Most High. You can't just hop into a covenant with the Most High. He actually has to establish one with you. He has not established any other covenants with any other nations on the face of this earth. You understand? If I could you back up for me and
So on that.
but yeah, we're gonna go to we're gonna start in Amos 3:1 because I want to show them exactly who it's talking to. When they say only have I known, who is he talking to? We're going to find that out. If I could, Amos chapter 3 and verse 1.
Amos 3:1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you.
Hear this word. Hear it is again. The Most High is telling us to listen. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you. Keep going.
O children of Israel.
O children of Israel. O children of the world.
Israel.
O children of Israel. You see what I'm saying? This is not for, in biblical terms, Moab, which is the Chinese, or Ammon, which is the Japanese, or Ham, which is the African nations. None of those nations are mentioned. It said, "Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel." Keep going.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying,
from the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt. You see what I'm saying? There was only one family that the Lord brought up out of the land of Egypt. That was the nation of Israel. So we're going to speak on context and stuff like that. The Most High is talking to the nation of Israel. He's not talking to the world. He's not talking to Esau, which is the so-called white man. He's talking to the nation of Israel, which is these nations on this side. If you're on this side, you are the nation of Israel, one of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Keep going.
2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. Just like I was just saying. This is why blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, it seems like we get punished. Every crime that we commit, we go to jail for. Every crime that we commit that we don't go to jail for, we die from. You understand? Like, we don't escape these punishments. We don't escape these curses. You understand? But the Most High is dealing with our nation. This is why he's punishing us. Just like any good father, if you have a son, and you give your son laws and regulations in your household, and your son is disobedient, he does everything in opposition to what you told him. If that happens, you got to punish your son. If not, you're going to raise a son who has no regard for rules, no regard for regulations. He do what he want to do, she do what she want to do. You understand? And the Most High is not having that. So therefore, we got to get punished. But on the flip side of that, every other nation out here, they do anything that they want to do and they profit from it. You see what I'm saying? Like, no one has profited from more hate and more evil than our oppressor. You see what I'm saying? He's done all manner of wickedness in the earth. You see what I'm saying? He's done all manner of wickedness to each and every one of these tribes of people. You understand? And guess what? He's profited from it. He has not been punished for it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people always say, why do you hate the so-called white man? Why do you hate Esau? You understand? Here's the thing. When people hear the term hate, people look at, when we say we hate Esau, people look at it from the lenses of Esau himself. People look at hate from the lenses of the oppressor. When the oppressor hates, he kills. When the oppressor hates, he murders, he robs, he rapes. You understand? He takes.
Right.
But the Most High said, when we hate, us hating is separating. Us hating is not keeping his holidays. Us hating is, instead of us keeping Thanksgiving, you see what I'm saying? We don't cook no turkeys on Thanksgiving. We don't eat those so-called Thanksgiving meals and whatnot, those Christmas dinners and gifts and all that. We don't partake in none of that. We separate from his society. When I say separate from his society, meaning we do not follow none of his statutes. We don't follow none of his traditions. You understand? Separate don't mean that we right now we're in slavery. We still got to work. So you go to work, but then when you get off of work, you go home and you be with your people. You understand? Like, this is what the Most High is saying. When it said Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. We're to separate from that. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people, when they hear that, we always get, oh, you hate the so-called white man. We don't hate no one for the color of their skin. You understand? That would make us just like them. But am I not supposed to want punishment for what would happen to my people? Are we not supposed to want, if someone murdered your family member right now, you would expect for them to go to prison. You would want them to go to prison, unless you're a black man or a black woman and the murderer was a so-called white man or a white woman. You understand? Then we want to forgive them. You see what I'm saying? But you would expect for a person who murdered your family member to receive some type of punishment. But when it comes to the so-called white man and our oppressor, when it comes to him, he gets a pass on everything. There has been no punishment for slavery. There has been no punishment for any of the atrocities that's been committed against our people. You see what I'm saying? We've never even had a chance to properly heal. But yet we're going to give away our covenant. We're going to give away the thing that the Most High told us that we can have to make us special. We want to give it and share it with everybody. But we don't want to share them curses with anyone. You see what I'm saying? That's because right now we're destroyed. And we're destroyed because of this Christian church. We're destroyed because of our black leaders. We're destroyed because of these black politicians, these black preachers, these Muslim imams, these so-called 5%ers and so-called conscious community leaders and 5%ers and Egyptologists and Cometians and all that. We're destroyed because of them. You understand? Like, our people, we're the most humble people on the face of the earth. We're the most humble people on the face of the earth until it comes to each other. When it comes to each other, we ain't got no compassion. We don't have no sense of, that's my brother, man. Even though I don't know him, you feel me? That's my brother, you see what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna see no harm come to my brother. You see what I'm saying? We don't have that for each other, but we have it for every other nation. I remember back, just being in the hood, man, like you'll see, when I was younger, you'll see somebody really get beat up or something like that, you feel me, that's not from our nation. And you'll have people come and defend them. Nah, man, leave him alone, don't touch him, you feel me? But let it be somebody from your hood, you feel me? Everybody on him, everybody stomping, man, get him, you feel me? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, we go hard on each other, but we won't go hard on our oppressor. We won't go hard on the people that's got us in these conditions, you understand? And this is why we got to come out of these religions. You understand? Like, the scripture says, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. And this is why we're going through the things that we're going through. However, the Most High has given us out. The Most High has given us something that we can do to change our circumstances. You understand? And that's keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. You feel me? If I could, let me get Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And I like pulling this scripture. Because far too often we don't know what it means to be blessed. We don't know what it feels like to have somebody in authority who's truly for us, not trying to just, benefit off of us or beguile us, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? The Most High is with us. The Most High loves us. The Most High is for us. You feel me? But what He wants to do for us and what He wants to give us, you see what I'm saying? It's like we can't even receive it because we so used to being oppressed. You see what I'm saying? We're so used to being punished that for us to actually reign and rule and be at the top of all these other nations, it seems like a foreign concept. But could we get Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1?
Deuteronomy 28 and 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the...
Hearken is meaning like you should listen diligently. Like listen closely. You see what I'm saying? Like don't just hear me speak. You see what I'm saying? Listen closely. Like listen and gather and take in what I'm saying, what these scriptures are saying. Not what I'm saying. Take in what these scriptures are saying. You see what I'm saying? Hearken diligently. Listen closely. Keep going.
Diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
To observe and to do all his commandments, not some. You see what I'm saying? Like, the first thing that your Christian pastor is going to say when you pull the scripture up to him, listen, no man can be perfect but Christ. You cannot keep the law of God. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. You cannot be perfect. This is contrary to everything that the scriptures speak on. You understand? You got something about?
Yeah, man, we gotta realize how important it is to be correct with this, because a lot of our brothers like to pick and choose what they will or will not do.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? If God got 10 things for you to do and you choose all 9, but you don't want to do one, you just forfeit everything.
Come.
I was just explaining that day to a brother. He was eating crawfish cakes, right?
Come.
But told another brother he couldn't eat crabs.
Come.
I said, man, I explained to him, man, like, you can't pick and choose the commandments out. All that's breaking the law. You know what I mean? So if you want to keep I keep 100, or you just losing all the way around the board.
That's a heavy point. Like I said, if you break one of my commandments, you break them all. You feel? Like, and that's so heavy what you bringing up, because a lot of time people pick and choose what they deem important for them to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But what you're doing is you're creating a God for yourself.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. The Most High ain't got to change his ways to appease us. You see what I'm saying? He's the Most High. He's the giver of life. He can give you life and he can give you death. You see what I'm saying? He don't got to change himself to appease us. We got to do something. We got to change to appease him.
That's right.
You understand? When we start picking and choosing what laws, statutes, and commandments we want to follow, all we're doing is we create for ourselves a false God. You feel me? Because that tells us that, oh, I can do what I want to do, but this God is still with me. That ain't the God of the Bible. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like the God of Esau, Caesar Borgia. You see what I'm saying?
The white Jesus.
Who says you can, the white Jesus, who allows you to be a homosexual and tell you as long as you love in your heart, you feel me, all is okay. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely not. That's not the God of the Bible. Keep going.
And do all his commandments, which I command thee this day.
Which I command thee this day. What is this day? Like, if this is the first time you've heard this, if this is the second time you heard this, you understand? When it says in this scripture, which I command thee this day, this is the day that it's talking about. You understand? Like, you hearing this for the first time, this scripture is talking and speaking directly to you. On this day, if you just got finished eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, and you just heard that all of those foods are unlawful, you feel me? On this day, stop doing it.
That's right.
You understand? Don't eat it again. You see what I'm saying? If you have issues, or if it's a struggle for you to stop, what you need to do is you need to call Isupk, man, seek counsel. You see what I'm saying? Like, we have a brotherhood wisdom, we take care of each other, you understand? When we fight this fight together. And that's what we need in our communities. We need to be able to fight together, you understand? We're not individuals, we are a nation. That's why I say, which I command you this day. If you're hearing this day, this is the day that it starts. Now keep going.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high. Naturally, if he's going to set us on high, the opposite of that is setting us on low. You see what I'm saying? Right now, we have not done thus far what these scriptures have said, so therefore, this is why we're in the conditions we're in. You see what I'm saying? But the Most High is promising us that he'll set us on high. Keep going.
Above all nations.
Above some.
Above all nations.
Above Africans.
Above all nations.
Above the so-called white man.
All nations.
Above all nations. Keep going.
Of the earth.
Of the earth. That means this entire globe. You understand? Like, the Most High is going to set us on high above all nations. Like, that's what the Most High is promising us right now. Most High is saying, listen, if you can learn to love your brothers yourself, you feel me? If you can learn to refrain and fight your demons, you understand? If you can learn not to sleep with your brother's wife, if you can learn not to smoke your weed, if you can learn not to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, you see what I'm saying? If you can do these things, listen, I'm gonna put you above every nation on the face of this earth. They're gonna have to answer to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is what the Most High promises us right now. You see what I'm saying? But we're so not accustomed to having someone fight for us. We're so not accustomed to having someone with absolute power love us. You see what I'm saying? We used to those people in those positions destroying us, using us, abusing us, and oppressing us. You understand? The Most High ain't that. The Most High is for us. You understand? The 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And the Most High is saying that we can just be obedient to what He's telling us to do. Just do what I've asked you to do. You understand? If you can do what I've asked you to do and keep my commandments and don't try to do what you want to do. Don't try to do it your way. You understand? Do what I've asked you to do. If you can do that, man, I'll put you above all these nations. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, somebody said, listen, I got a bag on me right now, 10 million. I got a duffel bag in the car, 10 million. I'm gonna give you these rules, and you gotta follow these rules to an absolute T. You see what I'm saying? If you got that offer right now, you know what you're gonna do? Though you've been taught your entire life that you can't be perfect, though you've been taught your entire life that you are not to be obedient to what the Most High says, you're gonna do exactly what you've been told because you want that 10 million. You see what I'm saying? You want that bag, so you want to do exactly what you've been instructed to do. You feel me? Damn that bag. The Most High has given us dominion over the earth. You understand? This is what we fighting for. Damn a bag. Damn, gold and rubies and stuff like that. The Most High has given us dominion over the earth, meaning we control what happens. In that too. That comes with it. You see what I'm saying? Like, we control everything. Don't nothing happen unless we authorize it. Don't nothing happen unless we okay it. You see what I'm saying? The Most High is offering us this to us. All He's asking from us is, man, keep my law, statutes, and commandments. Do what I told you to do. You see what I'm saying? But this is why we got to come out the Christian church. We got to come out the Christian church because it's been embedded in our minds that we cannot keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. It's been drilled into our minds that we can't be perfect. It's been drilled into our minds that we got to love everybody and forgive everybody unless it comes to each other. You see what I'm saying? And this is why we got to separate and get out of these churches, man, because these churches are nothing more than white vessels for white supremacy, vessels for, the Roman Catholic Church. You see what I'm saying? That's all these Christian churches and these Muslim mosques are. You feel me? All they are is small offshoots of the Roman Catholic Church, which is the mother of all harlots. You understand? That's what they are. But let me get Isaiah chapter 9, verse 16 and 17. We're going to show you that we got to fight a spiritual fight right now. You see what I'm saying? We got to fight we got to fight a war. We got to fight a war, and we've been fighting a war. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 16. We've been fighting a war, but we don't know that we're at war. You see what I'm saying? And this is why we keep losing. Right now, we're equipping each other with the tools to actually fight a war that's been declared upon us, but we didn't get the memo. You see what I'm saying? Like every time we do any manner of wickedness that we've been taught, you feel me? That's warfare. You see what I'm saying? Because when we commit crimes against each other, it's just a crime. People always talk about black on black crime, which is a problem. You feel me? We do gotta solve these things. And the only way we're gonna solve these things is coming back to the Most High. But nevertheless, when we do something towards each other unlawfully, that is a crime. But when we have people from other nations do stuff from us, to us, that is an act of war. You see what I'm saying? When 9/11 happened, when 9/11 occurred, you had so-called white Christians who say, even though we got to turn the other cheek, you feel me? I'm not going to rest until we go over there and we kill. You understand? And that's what America did. America went over to the Middle East, and those 3,000 that died in 9/11, over 3 million died at the hands of America. Men, women, children, babies, all of that. You see what I'm saying? Because they want justice for their people. You understand? We gotta want that same justice for our people. But the way we get justice is not by fighting like they fight. They fight carnally. You see what I'm saying? We're not to go out and hurt anybody. You see what I'm saying? What we gotta do is we gotta come back and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You feel me? And the first thing that we gotta do is separate and get out of these churches. You got that? Isaiah chapter 9, verse 16.
Isaiah 9 and 16. For the leaders of this people cause them to error.
For the leaders of this people cause them to error. You see what I'm saying? The leaders of our people cause us to err. Who are the leaders of black people right now? Like the leaders of black people would be your Creflo Dollars, your Jamal Bryants, your T.D. Jakes, your Al Sharptons, your Farrakhan's, your Jesse Jacksons. You see what I'm saying? These are the men that cause us to err. How do they cause us to err? You feel me? Martin Luther King. How do they cause us to err? You feel me? Yes, I'm fine.
By making us follow religion.
By making us follow religion, you feel me? They make us follow religion, which is a vessel of white supremacy. You see what I'm saying? When we follow religion and we start doing the things that our oppressors told us to do, you see what I'm saying? This is how our leaders cause us to err. We err every single day because we listen to Christian pastors and preachers. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's get into some examples of how these people cause us to err. Let's start with Martin Luther King. How did Martin Luther King cause us to err? You feel me? Yes, sir.
Making little white boys and little black girls join hand in hand.
Little white boys and little black girls, I got a dream that they join each other hand in hand, Now, to the naked eye, that seems harmless, right? That seems harmless until Emmett Till. Emmett Till gets his head pretty much exploded. You see what I'm saying? Because of Martin Luther King's dream. You see what I'm saying? Freddie Gray is a product of Martin Luther King's dream. Eric Garner is a product of Martin Luther King's dream. You see what I'm saying? Who's some more? Sandra Bland is a product of Martin Luther King's dream. You see what I'm saying? Every crime that happens in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American communities is a product of Martin Luther King's dream. You know why? Because when we started joining hands with little white boys and little white girls and all this nonsense, you feel me? We stopped joining hands with each other. You understand? You can't love both. You can't serve two masters. You see what I'm saying? You're going to love one and hate the other. The Most High said, "For Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated." You see what I'm saying? Like, as soon as we started joining to our oppressor, we stopped joining unto one another. We started hating each other and started loving them. You understand? And as a result, we've allowed these other nations to come into our communities, buy up all the businesses, you see what I'm saying, and rape our communities to the tune of, I don't know if everyone's, about a year or two ago, it was an Asian guy came on 92. If you're in Baltimore, you already know that 92Q is like the blackest Baltimore City music station in Baltimore, you feel me? It was an Asian man came on 92Q and he thanked black women for buying all the weave. Because black women brought so much weave from him, he was able to send 3 of his daughters to Ivy League schools with cash. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Meanwhile, we in the projects, we in the hood, you feel me, struggling with paying rent. We struggling to pay a car note. We struggling, to put gas in our vehicles, you feel me? And we got an Asian who comes to our community, can't speak no English, ain't contributing to this society, ain't paying no taxes, ain't got no green card, he's just illegal as the day is long, you feel me? And at the end of the day, He was able to send 3 of his daughters to Ivy League school. You see what I'm saying? This is a product of Martin Luther King's dream. You see what I'm saying? Because instead of that Asian sending his 3 daughters to Ivy League school, we could have actually had recreations in our communities for our kids, something for our kids to do. We could have had food programs, clothing programs. You see what I'm saying? We could have had so many different things of our own that we didn't have to go outside our communities to get. We could establish things within our own communities, you see what I'm saying, and been self-sufficient. But instead, we're giving it away to these other beasts, you see what I'm saying? But this is also why the Most High has raised up the Isupk. You see what I'm saying? This is why the Most High has raised up Commanding General Yohana. You see what I'm saying? Because you do have men and women that's going to say, you know what, enough is enough. You see what I'm saying? We're not going to fall victim to being prey anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like the scripture says, the lion shall lie with the lamb. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people just look at that. A lot of people misinterpret these scriptures. They don't know the understanding of that. In every nation, you got strong and you got weak. You feel me? But the strong devours the weak, especially in the black community. You feel me? You got a strong dude, he's going to devour the weak that's in his way. You see what I'm saying? In that day, that strong man ain't going to destroy the weak of his nation. That strong man will protect the weak of his nation. That lion will lie with that lion. You see what I'm saying? And you know what else? He's going to make sure that no other animal, no other beast from another nation comes in and hurts his community. You see what I'm saying? This is what the Isupk is for. This is what we do. We're on the forefront of fighting for our people, you understand? But this is how I say our leaders cause us to err, you see what I'm saying? Another example of them causing us to err and saying, oh, the law is done away with, you feel me? We are sanctified by the blood of Jesus. You see what I'm saying? That's a common thing. We're sanctified by the blood of Jesus. The law is done away with. We ain't got to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. All we got to do is feel it in our heart at this point. We got to believe in Jesus. You see what I'm saying? This is another way our leaders has caused us to err, because that gives us the mind frame that we can do whatever we want to do under the sun, and the Most High is still with us. You see what I'm saying? And just like we read in Deuteronomy 28:1, you see what I'm saying? Like, you got to do all these laws, statutes, and commandments. You see what I'm saying? It's not good enough for you to pick and choose. We got to do them all. Any more on that?
Yeah. And they that are led by them are destroyed.
And they that are led by them are destroyed. Right now, we're destroyed. You see what I'm saying? We're destroyed as a people. You see what I'm saying? Like, there is, if you look at every other nation around us, they have their own. You see what I'm saying? They have an identity. They have a culture. You know, they have some kind of structure in which they take care of themselves. You see what I'm saying? They take care of themselves and they take care of each other. We're destroyed because we don't even know who we are. Like, every 10, 15 years, you feel me, we change our identity. First we're Negro, then we're niggas, then we're Afro-American, then we're, what's something else? Neo-soul and all this nonsense, you see what I'm saying? Every 15, 20 years, we change who we are, you feel me? And that's truly because we don't know who we are. You understand? We are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, you feel me? Through and through. That's who we are. But we're destroyed because our leaders have pretty much sold us out to the oppressor. You see what I'm saying? You better believe that these Christian pastors, they're profiting, they're getting checks. You know, if they was to go out there and teach against the doctrine that they've been put through in seminary school and all this nonsense, if they teach against that doctrine, what's going to happen is they're going to be blackballed and their churches are going to fall apart, you feel me? And they're not going to have that. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to go out there and they're going to preach. They're going to preach the message for the beast, you see what I'm saying? Like, they're going to go out there and do the bidding for the so-called oppressor. Not even so-called, they're going to do the bidding for the oppressor. You see what I'm saying? They're what you call hoes. You see what I'm saying? Paid for and brought for. Paid for and brought, by a dollar bill. You see what I'm saying? Paid for by the highest bidder. You see what I'm saying? And these people who bomb, they know what they're doing. But guess what? Our black leaders know what they're doing too because they sit right there in the meetings with them. You see what I'm saying? Like this is how we're destroyed. We're destroyed because our leaders have caused us to err. You see what I'm saying? That's why our nation as a whole has been destroyed. If I could, let me get Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. But Rakatha Yahweh Yahweh Shai, you feel me? We thank the Most High. We thank the Most High for Him having mercy on us as a nation that we couldn't even fathom the mercy that the Most High has shown us. You see what I'm saying? We can't even fathom the fact that the Most High has even given us a chance to get back to Him. You see what I'm saying? But in order for us to come back to the Most High, is we got to do something, man. We can't do what we was doing to get us kicked out of our land and have all these the things that we was doing to have these curses brought upon us. We can't continue to do those things in a foreign land and expect the Most High to bless us. You see what I'm saying? That's insanity. We doing the same thing that got us kicked out. We doing the same thing that got curses placed upon us. But yet we believe in our minds that as long as we believe in Jesus Christ, we good. You see what I'm saying? It makes absolutely no sense. You got that
Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
it is like to break that down, like when they say my people is possessive. You see what I'm saying? Like the Most High was for everybody. He would say all people. All people. He said my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Like I said, I got a young son. If my son grows up and he doesn't know that Christ was the greatest black man ever walked this earth, is it his fault he don't know that? Or is it my fault because I haven't taught him? You see what I'm saying? That would be on me. That would be my fault. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're destroyed because the knowledge that we should have of the Most High, you feel me? We don't have it. We don't have it because we're under the guidance and we're under the tutelage of wicked pastors, wicked preachers, wicked politicians who truly hate black people. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they got the right skin color. You feel me? But everything that they do, every law they pass, every sermon they preach, you see what I'm saying? Everything is directed and attributed and directed and guided towards white supremacy. You see what I'm saying? You go to the Christian church. You have any ailments, you have any afflictions, you go to the Christian church, you think you're going to get fixed, you're going to come out worse than what you came in. You see what I'm saying? You go in the drug dealer, you're going to come out a kingpin. You see what I'm saying? You go in the hole, you're going to come out a hole with some kind of STD. You feel me? These Christian pastors are sleeping with men's wives. They're sleeping with men. They're sleeping with children. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're doing every manner of wickedness, you feel me? Because they're following their father, the devil, you feel me? Who is the so-called white man, you feel me? According to these scriptures. That's who they're following. Our oppressor is a natural homosexual, you see what I'm saying? It just oozes out of his being, you see what I'm saying? Oozes out of his very essence. You see what I'm saying? He's a natural homosexual. That's why these so-called these fake Jews, one of their when the kid is when the babies are 8 days old, they got a ritual in which they put their mouth and suck the blood off the penis of the foreskin of the baby boys. You see what I'm saying? That is nowhere in the scriptures. It even came out up in New York where they was giving babies herpes. You see what I'm saying? These so-called rabbis, they are fake Jews. You see what I'm saying? They are in the biblical setting. Their name is Esau in the Bible. They descend from Esau. They're the Khazarians. You see what I'm saying? The Amalekites. You see what I'm saying? Like that's who they are in scripture. You feel me? But they fall under the same umbrella as Esau in the scriptures. You feel me? They are so wicked. But the thing is, people will see them and people will see us. And strange enough, people give them the respect of a person who actually serves the Most High, you feel me? And people look at us and they tell us, hey, y'all some wicked Negroes, you feel me? All we try to do is get our people to come back and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you feel me? That's what we've been commissioned to do. You see what I'm saying? We follow orders and we do what the Most High has told us, through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, through Commander General Yohana. You see what I'm saying? Like, we've been commissioned to come out here and warn and wake our people up, warn our people of our transgressions. You see what I'm saying? Not so we can look at people like we better than them, but we warn our people about transgressions because we tired of seeing the affliction that's occurring in our nation. We tired of seeing our brothers and sisters hurt. We tired of seeing, our kids abused and, right now it's an epidemic. Little black girls and black boys going missing right now. You see what I'm saying? Like we tired of this. You see what I'm saying? But we're so tired of it that we're gonna serve the Most High the way the Most High wants to be served. You see what I'm saying? And that's the anger that we all gotta carry. We don't carry anger just to allow anger to rule us and cause us to sin and cause us to do all manner of wickedness. You feel me? You gotta use that anger. You feel me? And serve the Lord with a vigor. You got to serve the Lord with a vigor that I want the Most High. It's like I want the Most High to, not only do I want the punishment for these other nations, but because the Most High is who He is, you see what I'm saying, I want to serve Him anyway. You see what I'm saying? But just like Esau and he had other nations, they want to go hard for their kingdom. They're going to go hard for their nation. It's to the death. You see what I'm saying? If they can go that hard for their nation, you feel me? Who am I not to go hard for mine? You see what I'm saying? You got Arabs right now who are blowing themselves up. You feel me? For their people. You see what I'm saying? And you mean to tell me I can't stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster? You mean to tell me I can't sleep, instead of me sleeping with my brother's wife, say, you know what? I ain't gonna touch you, shorty. You see what I'm saying? You got a man, you feel me? It's unlawful for me to be speaking to you right now. You see what I'm saying? You mean to tell me that I can't conduct myself in an honorable way that's going to return the Most High to our nation? You see what I'm saying? When you got people out here blowing themselves up for their people, there's no cowards here. There's no cowards, no excuses. You see what I'm saying? And this is what Isupk is built on. You see what I'm saying? Being soldiers for the Most High. If I could,
so on that.
Yeah, you got some more on that?
Yes.
Who's that for?
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. You see what I'm saying? Like, these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, don't reject it. You see what I'm saying? Like, we keep reiterating, pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster being unlawful for us to eat. You see what I'm saying? Listen, don't reject it. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't just hear this and feel like you ain't gotta abide by it. You feel me? You're different. You're an individual. You got your own personal relationship with the Most High, with Christ, and stuff like that. Don't have that spirit. You see what I'm saying? Just like we read it earlier in Proverbs 28:9. You see what I'm saying? Like, He who has an ear, hear these words, you see what I'm saying? Because you turn your ear from this, the Most High considers your prayers an abomination. You see what I'm saying? That's the Most High rejected you. Just like it says right here in Hosea 4:7, you feel me? Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. You feel me? Like, we don't want to be them people. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to be the people that the Most High got to reject because we're that set in our ways. We're that stubborn when it comes to serving the Most High. But we're so humble when it comes to serving the so-called white man. We're so humble when it comes to serving the oppressor. You see what I'm saying? But we're so stubborn when it comes to serving the Most High and His people. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to be them people. You know, in the scriptures it said, you know, 2/3 ain't gonna make it. That's what the scriptures say. 2/3 of our people are going to pretty much reject the Most High, and they pretty much gonna get the same fate that every other nation is gonna get, which is death. You see what I'm saying? But even though that says that in the scripture, you feel me? Like, let's change that. You see what I'm saying? You know, it was a story in Abraham when he went to Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying? The Most High was going to, he was on the brink of slaughtering Sodom and Gomorrah and a few other nations, you know? But Abraham bargained with him. Abraham said, listen, you know, what if I found 50 good people in the town? You see what I'm saying? Would you spare them? Most High said, if you could find 50 righteous people, you feel me, I'll spare them. Abraham said, hey, maybe, let's say I find 40. If I find 40 good people, can you spare these people? You see what I'm saying? Most High said, you know what? If you can find 40 good people, I will spare these people. I don't know, listen, man. What if I find 30? If you can find 30 good people, I spare. Like Abraham was pleading. He was pleading with the Most High for his people. You see what I'm saying? Abraham said, what if I find 20? If I find 20, you know, can you spare? Most High said, you know what? If you find 20 righteous people in the midst of, what, 5 cities? In the midst of 5 cities, if you find 20 good people, I will spare them all. You see what I'm saying? Abraham said, you know what? It's a lot, Most High. What if I find 10 good people in all these cities? 10 righteous people in all these cities. Most High said, you know what? You can find 10 good people, 10 righteous people in all these cities. I will spare everyone. You see what I'm saying? We all know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. You understand? Sodom and Gomorrah was obliterated. You see what I'm saying? Like the Most High destroyed it with fire and brimstone. You see what I'm saying? But the point of the thing is, Abraham was able to reason with the Most High. You see what I'm saying? He was able to talk with the Most High. 2/3 of our people in the scripture say they ain't gonna make it. Come. 2/3 of our people ain't gonna make it. According to the scriptures, ain't gonna make it. What if we can plead with the Most High and say, listen, you know, what about people turn around? What about people start keeping these law, statutes, and commandments? Can you hold back the judgment on our people? You see what I'm saying? The Most High has shown that He's willing to work with us as long as we're willing to do our part. You see what I'm saying? Let's be the people who say, you know what? Though I've been taught a certain way, though I've lived a certain type of lifestyle, at this point, tonight, from this point on, I'm going to serve the Most High. Let's be them type of people. You feel me? That's what the Most High expects us to be. That's why, you know, you always hear the Christian pastors and preachers say, we're under grace. We're not under the law. They don't understand the grace period. They don't understand the grace period because here's the thing. When you got a phone bill or you got an electric bill, you feel me? You call the electric company, your bill is due on a Friday. And you call that electric company and say, listen, man, I ain't got the money right now, you feel me? But could I get an extension period? Could I get Can I get an extension on this bill, whatnot, you feel me? And they grant it to you. That electric company, they call that a grace, they call it a grace period. You say, I can't pay it this Friday, but next Friday I had the money, I'll be paid. So they gave you a grace period of 1 week. Now, at the end of that grace period, the same punishment and the same penalty that you had the previous Friday still applies. Meaning, you don't pay that money, your gas and electric is getting cut off. You see what I'm saying? That's just what's going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Like, you receive the same punishment, you just received it a little later. You understand? That's what grace is. Now, if you attribute that, if you apply that to what the Most High, the grace that the Most High has, the punishment that the Most High has for those of us who don't want to abide by His words, His law, His statute, His commandments, you see what I'm saying, is the same punishment that we should have got long ago. You see what I'm saying? Like, it comes a point in time where the Most High's patience and mercy runs out. And when that happens, people die. You see what I'm saying? No, none of us are worthy of what the Most High has given us. If you feel like you're worthy of it, you feel me? Seek counsel. You see what I'm saying? None of us are worthy of what the Most High wants to give us. None of us are worthy of His mercy. None of us are worthy of His grace. You see what I'm saying? Because we're not worthy, let's fight that much harder to even have the Most High look at us and say, you know what? I'm glad I did get his brother some time. I'm glad I did get his sister some time. She done changed her life around. This brother done changed his life around, you feel me? If I'd have killed him, when I wanted to, you see what I'm saying? I wouldn't see the fruit of this brother or this sister, you see what I'm saying? And then that brother who changed his life and that sister who changed her life, they come together, you feel me? And she becomes his rib, and they produce a kid, you see what I'm saying? And they teach and they raise that kid up in the way that the Most High wants that kid raised, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is what we got to start doing. We can't do that in the Christian church, you feel me? We can't do that. We can't do that listening to these pastors and preachers. We're going to go into Proverbs right now. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31, it says, envy thou not the oppressor. Envy thou not the oppressor. Like, we shouldn't be envious, and we shouldn't be so consumed with what our oppressor has. You see what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't be in awe of what he has, you understand? Because everything that he has and everything that he's obtained, he's done it by bloodshed. He's done it through pure wickedness. You see what I'm saying? Don't envy. That's like we envy drug dealers because they have the big cars, they got some of the baddest women, you see what I'm saying? They got the jewels. It looks like they got the respect, you see what I'm saying? We envy all of those things, you feel me? But the way they obtain their riches, you feel me? The way they obtain their women, the way they obtain their jewels, that came at the cost of you destroying your own people. That came at the cost of a kid being prostituted by his mother or father or her mother or father, you feel me, to get that next high. You see what I'm saying? That's what it comes at the cost of, you see what I'm saying? Envy not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. And choose none of his, like, what are some of the ways of the oppressor that we choose? The one that sticks right out is homosexuality. You see what I'm saying? We choose homosexuality in our community, in our nation. You see what I'm saying? Like, we are not to choose none of his ways. We choose his ways because we are so oppressed that when we see people that's not oppressed doing certain things, we want to feel just like them. We want to be just like them. You see what I'm saying? If they say it's good, it must be great. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the attitude that we've had because we're destroyed. because we're oppressed, because we don't have no hope in this kingdom. You see what I'm saying? So when it looks like they doing good, they look like they living a good life. You see what I'm saying? They live in communities in which, you know, no one thinks crime happens, but there's all manner of wickedness happening in these heathen communities. You see what I'm saying? They just cover it up and they hide it a lot better. You feel me? The media coverage is not there in their communities with all these crimes and all this wickedness going on. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is, we see what they do, and because we're oppressed and they're free, we think that that's the way we should be doing things. We think that, you know, because he wants to eat clam, you know, that must be a delicacy. No, it's disgusting. You see what I'm saying? Because he eats shrimp and he eats crab and stuff like that. You feel me? Put Old Bay on it. You feel me? We act like that's something we should be thinking. No, if you can eat crab and shrimp, you feel me? Go eat that cockroach off your floor. You see what I'm saying? That mouse that you got on, or that you caught on that trap, go and put him in there and boil him like the Asian. You see what I'm saying? If you look at eating a mouse or eating a rat, if you look at that as being disgusting, you feel me? You should not be eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You see what I'm saying? Because it's the same exact thing. You feel me? One's just on land, one's in the ocean. You see what I'm saying? Let's choose none of his ways. You know, we don't want to become people. When we become people who follow unrighteous people. You see what I'm saying? How the scriptures say, you know, they'll turn evil into good and good into evil. That's what we become. We become people who turn evil into good. You see what I'm saying? It's all manner of wicked. It's like if you tell a brother or sister, listen, it is against the Most High. It is unnatural. It is against, you know, your entire life's calling for you to be a homosexual. You know what they're gonna say? You're homophobic. You see what I'm saying? You're gay bashing. You see what I'm saying? Like, you get labeled all these terms when you speak the words of the Most High. When you speak when we speak the words of the Most High, it almost looks like we're the evil ones. You see what I'm saying? But when the person is for homosexuality and, you know, you can be what you want to be, just come as you are. You see what I'm saying? If if you gay, that's okay. It's all love. You feel me? That's what you want in the Christian churches. That has been considered good. That evil and that wickedness has been looked at as being righteous. You see what I'm saying? But you standing up for what the Most High has told us to do. When we doing these law, statutes, and commandments, you know what? That makes us look evil. You know, people see us with our fringes on. People see us with our war scarves and our headbands and our studs, and people see pure strength when they see us. You see what I'm saying? But because people are so not used to seeing masculine black men, you see what I'm saying? When they see this, it's almost like, let's cross the street. What are they up to? You see what I'm saying? But when you see that business, when you see the oppressor, and he has his business suit on, you know, he's got his towel, his bow tie on, his pointy toe shoes. You see what I'm saying? It's like we see them, and we're in awe. You see what I'm saying? We start to envy him. We start to choose his ways. You see what I'm saying? When he's the biggest criminal on the face of the earth. You see what I'm saying? That's the one we as a nation should be running far away from. But instead we choose him and we choose his way. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's get it. We're gonna get Ecclesiastes. You'll have some people say, well, not all, so-called white people are bad people, They're not all bad, you see what I'm saying? Ecclesiastes 7:13. It says, consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which he had made crooked, you see what I'm saying? The Most High made Esau as a whipping stick for our punishment, you see what I'm saying? Like, he's a whipping stick because we didn't want to follow what the Most High told us to do, you feel me? So the Most High will raise up a nation just to punish us, you see what I'm saying? That's his only purpose. The Most High has made him crooked, you feel me? So the Most High has made him crooked, you feel me? Who are we to try to make him straight? You see what I'm saying? Who are we to stand in the way with the Most High is created? You feel me? And who are we to tell the Most High what he should do? You see what I'm saying? If the Most High created him evil, created him crooked, you feel me? Who are we to make him righteous and to make him straight again? You feel me? It can't happen. You see what I'm saying? It can't happen. You feel me? Like, the Most High has created certain nations on the face of the earth, you feel me? And they're to serve a purpose. And outside of that purpose, the Lord could care two bits about it. You see what I'm saying? Like I say, all these other nations are nothing but spittle. You see what I'm saying? Spittle is that white piece of spit right there in the corner of your mouth. You see what I'm saying? Like the Most High compares these other nations to spittle. You see what I'm saying? He said he compares them to, a drop in a bucket. You know, if you got a bottle of water, you see what I'm saying? If you open the top, you walking down the street, you open the top of that water, you feel me? That little bit spill out, that little drop, when you first open the spill out, are you gonna go back and try to get a what's the name? When you can't get medicine, the little joint. Are you gonna go get one of them and try to get that drop up and put it back in your water bottle? Absolutely not, you feel me? You could care less about that drop of water, you feel me? That's what the Most High feel of these other nations, you see what I'm saying? So we've got to stop trying to make straight what the Most High has made crooked, you see what I'm saying? The Most High made it crooked for a reason. We got to accept that, you see what I'm saying? But a lot of times, because we're so oppressed and we're so destroyed, we're still in slavery. We still got a slave mindset. You see what I'm saying? Because just like we was bringing out earlier in Deuteronomy, the Most High wants to bless us. He wants to bless the nation of Israel. He wants to bless the black man, the Hispanic man, the Native American man, the black woman, the Native American woman, the Hispanic woman. He wants to bless us. You see what I'm saying? But we'll fight against a blessing all day long. You see what I'm saying? We'll fight against the things that we got to do to receive these blessings all day long. But when it comes to curses, when it comes to those curses, you feel me? We'll take them curses all day long. You see what I'm saying? Like, we'll take a curse all day long because it comes so natural to us, you feel me? But here's the thing. We'll give our blessings to another nation quickly. You see what I'm saying? We'll try to join everybody in with us. This person can be saved. Just like Oprah was passing out the good. You can be saved. You can be saved. You see what I'm saying? That's what we do. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to our blessings, we want to save everybody except each other. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to curses, we don't share them with no one. We're not even trying to share them with no one. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to these curses, you feel me? It's like we want to hold off on that and reserve them just for ourselves. We selfish when it comes to curses. We selfish when it comes to punishment. You see what I'm saying? But we so giving, and we so it's obviously it's disgusting. You feel me? But it's like we'll share our blessings with everyone, but we'll take all the curses for ourselves. You feel me? Which shows you that we are slaves. You see what I'm saying? We still got a slave mindset. We got to come out of these. We got to come out of that mindset. If we're going to get back to what we should be. You see what I'm saying? Let me get it. We're gonna pull Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. We're gonna start verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 10. We're gonna start verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you. Like, hear this again. Like, Most High keep telling us, hear this. You see what I'm saying? For you, hear this, which the Lord speaketh unto you. O house of Israel. Here we go again. Like, and this is what's so amazing about this, you feel me? The Most High ain't leaving it to no, he ain't leaving it to doubt. He's showing you He's telling us who he's talking to. That's why he's telling us here. Like, people think that when you say here, like maybe it's just like how the sentences used to start off back in the day. Now, the Most High is saying, hear this, O house of Israel, because the Most High understood something that we don't. We don't want to hear certain things when it comes to us being blessed. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to hear these things. Like a person can read Jeremiah 10 and 1 right now, hear ye the word which the Lord speaking to your house of Israel. And all they're going to hear is, or all they're going to read is, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you. They'll blot out, O house of Israel. You see what I'm saying? It won't mean absolutely nothing to them. It's almost like it shouldn't even be there. You see what I'm saying? But guess what it is? O house of Israel. The Most High is talking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You see what I'm saying? Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. What is a heathen, first of all? You know, contextually, if you're looking at it from definition, a heathen is a non-Israelite. A person that is not a blood Israelite is a heathen. You see what I'm saying? But contextually, we may see heathens used for in reference to an Israelite who wasn't born in the land, who's not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You see what I'm saying? Someone who just pretty much like separated himself from the culture, from the Most High, from his people. You see what I'm saying? Like you'll hear that, you know, in certain scriptures, was actually physical Israelites being called a heathen, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? But a heathen, by definition, is a person who is not a Israelite. You see what I'm saying? Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. So if it's saying learn not the way of the heathen, if all can be saved, you see what I'm saying? If all can be saved, who is the scripture speaking to? If it's saying learn not the way of the heathen, if the heathen is the non-Israelite, how can that heathen learn not the ways of himself? You see what I'm saying? It don't make sense. This is for the house of Israel. The house of Israel, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. That's why they look at the blood moons, and they got all these stats and all these, you know, because this happened, this means that this happened has to happen in the earth. You know, they big in that astrology, them Africans and stuff like that, you feel me? Like the East Indians, you know, they big into all that. This sign means this and that sign means that. Then don't get it twisted. We do use the sun and the moon, you know, when we you know, to pretty much calculate our holy days and stuff like that, you feel me? But the thing is, we don't serve the sun and the moon. We don't bow down to the sun and the moon. You see what I'm saying? The sun and the moon ain't giving us the wisdom that we're living in the court, that we're supposed to live by. You see what I'm saying? We get our wisdom from these scriptures. You understand? That's what they say. Don't be dismayed at the stars of the sky. You feel me? The signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. Like, we can't be like them. You understand? The Lord called us a holy people. Holy means separate. We're a separate people. And we know this. We know that we're different from everybody on the face of the earth. You see what I'm saying? We know we got a different sauce. We know we got a different vibe than everybody on the face of the earth. That's why everything we touch, it turns into gold. You see what I'm saying? There has not been nothing invented in earth, you feel me, that a black, Hispanic, or Native American man, woman, or child has touched and invented. You see what I'm saying? We just don't get the credit for all of that. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're different. Like, in these other nations, they know we're different. When an African comes over here, he don't want nothing to do with the black man over here. You see what I'm saying? He looks down on the black man over here. And listen, you ain't got to be an Isupk to know that. You ain't got to be an Isupk to feel that. You see what I'm saying? Before I came into the Isupk, I knew that. Because I've dealt with Africans before. Just like most of our people deal with Africans. And we all know that Africans do not like black people. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? When they have a problem, when they have an issue, that's what they want to build with a black man. You see what I'm saying? They want to make it seem like we're similar. Hey, brother. You feel me? Now, ain't no brother over here. You You see what I'm saying? Like, you want to build when you got your issues, you see what I'm saying? But outside of that, you feel me? Like, it's like, I forgot the term that they over there, what they call black people over there and stuff like that. Woolies or something like that, you feel me? Like, they cannot stand the black man or the black woman here. You see what I'm saying? They know we're different. You feel me? I prefer for them to keep that energy. You see what I'm saying? I prefer for them to stay the way they are. You see what I'm saying? It makes it easier for our people who still right now do not know who they are. You feel me? Because far too often we allow ourselves to be beguiled by people who come off a certain kind of way because we want to fit in, because we want to belong. We're willing to give everything that we have within ourselves to anybody. You see what I'm saying? All we need is a good gesture. You see what I'm saying? I prefer for people, for these other nations to be who they're supposed to be in the earth. You see what I'm saying? I prefer for Donald Trump to be Donald Trump. You see what I'm saying? Because what that's going to do is going to show our people that we're separate and that we're different, and that the only way that we're going to defeat this society is by coming back and joining each other. You see what I'm saying? By coming back and loving each other. You see what I'm saying? Like, we come back, we build our communities with each other and for each other. You see what I'm saying? That's what the Donald Trumps of the world should be showing us. That's what every African on these corners selling all this fake, glasses and fake jewelry and then, these so-called Africans who think they can breathe and whatnot, you feel me, who are horrible. You see what I'm saying? Like, I prefer for them to keep that energy. So therefore, we'll separate. You know what? We'll find a brother or a sister to go to and buy something from. We'll find we'll find a sister that we can go to and get our hair braided and whatnot. You see what I'm saying? Like, I prefer for these nations to be who they're supposed to be in the earth. You see what I'm saying? I prefer for them to have a certain energy with us. You see what I'm saying? Because our people who don't know no better, they'll feel and see that as well. And just maybe for once, they'll decide to come back and join with the rest of their people and stop being individuals. And this is what we got to do. We're gonna we're gonna go to Mark 7. Mark chapter 7, verse 7. Mark chapter 7, verse 7. Howbeit, in vain do they worship me. First thing that you'll notice if you're following along is when it says, howbeit in vain. Like, this scripture is in red. This, for anyone who don't know, this is Christ speaking out of his mouth right now. This is Christ actually speaking. When you see the red words in red, this means that Christ is speaking. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. You see what I'm saying? Like, vain, to be vain is to be empty. It's absolute nothingness. You see what I'm saying? Like, it holds no weight, it has no substance, it's empty. You see what I'm saying? Howbeit in vain, howbeit in emptiness do they worship me. You think you're worshiping the Most High, but it's all empty. You see what I'm saying? Teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Now, you're teaching for doctrines that you're not teaching doctrines according to what these scriptures say, but you are teaching doctrines to what Caesar Borgia and his disciples what they taught. You see what I'm saying? You are teaching the doctrines, the commandments of men. We learn that we're teaching Roman Catholic philosophy. You see what I'm saying? We're teaching fake Jewish people philosophy. You see what I'm saying? We're teaching, therefore, the commandments of men. This ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. This ain't got nothing to do with what the Most High said, what Christ said. It has absolutely nothing to do with the Bible. That's why it's in vain. Verse 8, for laying aside the commandment of God. So we lay aside the commandment of God. Like, okay, I understand that this is what it says. Let's keep that over there. We're going to keep that over there, but we are going to do this. You see what I'm saying? But laying aside the commandment of God, you hold the tradition of men. You see what I'm saying? We hold the tradition of man. What is a tradition of man? You feel me? Like, here's the thing. I would, I would go on the limb to say, pretty much 95 to 100% of our people understand that Christopher Columbus did not discover America. I would feel comfortable saying that. You see what I'm saying? About 95 to 100% of our people know for a fact that Christopher Columbus did not discover this America. You feel me? Like, however, the tradition of man, even though we know that that's a false so-called holiday, you'll have a lot of people say, you know what, I ain't celebrating that because Christopher Columbus did not discover America. And I get that. I understand that. For that. However, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. And the same people who stood up and said, I'm not going to observe Christopher Columbus Day because it was built on a lie. It was built on saying that he discovered America. Christopher Columbus, his entire so-called holiday is based on deception. We understand it. But the same people who understand that is right now about to celebrate Thanksgiving. You see what I'm saying? So on one hand, you'll stand up against deception. And then on the other hand, you'll embrace it. And this is what we can't do. You see what I'm saying? We can't be wishy-washy in our stance. You see what I'm saying? Like, we gotta understand with our brothers, the North American Indians, we gotta understand what they went through. You see what I'm saying? For so long, like they always say, history is told by the victor. You see what I'm saying? If I win this war, I can write whatever history I want to write about it. You see what I'm saying? In this case, we were brought up to think that Thanksgiving was a righteous holiday. You see what I'm saying? It's not. It's not a righteous holiday. You see what I'm saying? It's actually a bloody, wicked holiday. We got to take the time to research. Like the scripture says, study yourself approved. Why are we celebrating Thanksgiving? If you talk to a Native American Indian, they'll let you know, like, there were so many villages that were sacked and destroyed, women raped. They would take the heads of tribal of leaders, cut them off and kick them around and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, Thanksgiving is built on bloodshed. You see what I'm saying? The Native Americans, they call it the day of mourning. And it should be, and they right in doing it because with our oppressor dude, he'll have us celebrate stuff and he'll separate us from our Native American brothers. You know what I'm saying? Our Native American brothers, they are our brothers. You see what I'm saying? Whatever affliction they've experienced, you feel me? We should feel it as well. We one family. You see what I'm saying? Just like, on the flip side, our Isupk brothers, our Mexican brothers on the border, what they going through, the crisis is going on out there. You see what I'm saying? We should feel that. That's our brother, man. Have we become such good slaves that we can't feel for each other? That we can't feel each other pain as long as master ain't beating us, you feel me? As long as master ain't beating us the same way he beating them, we good. No, we can't be like that, man. He still is. He's beating the hell out of us too, you feel me? He's beating the hell out of us, you feel me? But we'll see the affliction that's going on with our brothers, our Isupk brothers on this border. We'll see, we know the history of our Native American brothers and all the, all manner of wickedness that's been, done to them. But we'll still keep the tradition of man, you feel me? And we'll still eat that Thanksgiving dinner. We'll still celebrate that Thanksgiving dinner. You see what I'm saying? You know why? Because the oppressor told us to. You see what I'm saying? We want to get together with family and stuff like that. That's always a good thing. You see what I'm saying? That's the first thing a person say, like, family gonna get together, have a meal. Family should be doing that anyway. You see what I'm saying? Like, why do it take the oppressor telling us, all right, this is the day that I'm gonna allow y'all to sit down with your family and have dinner? Listen, the Lord, the Most High has a Sabbath every Saturday. You see what I'm saying? Family's supposed to be coming together and eating then. You see what I'm saying? Feasting together then. It don't take no oppressor telling us that we can come together and eat for us to do it. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're bigger than that. We're better than that. You see what I'm saying? Let's not be the slaves. Let's not be the slaves that he's made us out to be. You see what I'm saying? Let's break those chains, those psychological chains. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, slavery is operating way better than it did back in the day. You see what I'm saying? Because though they use shackles and stuff like that back in the day, you feel me? Like, we slaves and don't even know it. We feel like we think we free men. But we do everything the oppressor tell us to do. You see what I'm saying? Because we're still slaves. Let's come away from that. You feel me? Like just like the Deuteronomy say, let's keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, so that the Most High can put us on high above all these nations. You see what I'm saying? So that the Most High can take vengeance on for what has happened to our forefathers and foremothers. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is why we say the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You see what I'm saying? We say that because of the crimes, of the acts of war that's been committed against our people that no one has been in prison for, no one has been punished for. Right now, you have old, what they call neo-Nazis, being arrested, 800, 98, 100 years old, you see what I'm saying, in wheelchairs and breathing tanks. But because they was even, they recently did the last that I heard was the one that he used to keep the boat smooth. You see what I'm saying? He had a breathing tank. Couldn't even breathe on his own in a wheelchair. You know what? They still arrested him. They still because what he did was considered an act of war. You see what I'm saying? Like a crime against humanity. You see what I'm saying? Like they want punishment. They want judgment. You see what I'm saying? We should want the same thing. You see what I'm saying? We shouldn't look at each other, and say, oh, let's get over it. Why do we gotta get over certain things, you feel me? But we understand when everybody else is in pain because of whatever affliction that's occurred to them. We understand everything when it comes to other nations, but we don't understand anything when it comes to each other. You see what I'm saying? This is why it's so important. This is why it's so important for us to come back together, you feel me? Just like the scripture said, we gotta keep the commandments of God and not the commandments of men.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why this is important, you feel me? This is bringing to the attention too, recently, a couple years, last year, police officer down here in Baltimore, you feel me? He was a detective. Got his head blew off in the alley in West Baltimore, you know. And initially what had happened, they tried to say there was a black man. They saw him running from the scene, so they looking for a black man. Any black man would have done it. Any black man would have fit the bill for this, you see what I'm saying? They were looking for a black man to slaughter because this police detective got his head blew off in the alley in West Baltimore. So first they say it was a physical altercation. Brother, the detective lost his life in that match, you feel me? It was a homicide. It's a homicidal investigation going on. And when it came down to paying the benefits to that man's wife, you see what I'm saying? They wasn't trying to do that, you know? So they hired a so-called independent investigator, and they tried to say the brother, they was trying to say that the brother committed suicide. You see what I'm saying? Like, when all the evidence was pointing towards internal corruption, then all of a sudden, this detective shot and killed himself, blew his own brains out in an alley in West Baltimore. So it's been made conclusive now that they're classifying his death as a suicide, you know, which shows the hate that this oppressor has for our people. You see what I'm saying? It's like we go all out trying to serve them in their kingdom. You see what I'm saying? We try to be so-called upstanding brothers and sisters. You see what I'm saying? We try so hard to fit in with them, you feel me? But at the end of the day, that detective, he quite sure he went to college. You know, he probably did everything what he thought was right in his life. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
Probably didn't associate with black people. You see what I'm saying? Probably had multiple white police friends and families that he hung out with. And guess what? He died in a alley in West Baltimore like a common junkie. You see what I'm saying? These curses don't escape nobody.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We keep on looking at each other as individuals. You see what I'm saying? This is a nation. We are a nation. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We're gonna live together or we're gonna die together. You see what I'm saying? So far we've been dying together. You got something?
Yeah, that's so heavy, because I don't know what type of dummy they think, half of the world, blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. But this investigation been over here, and they rule it a suicide. First of all, how dare you even say that's a suicide when y'all just first of all said y'all was trying to track down a brother in the alley. Then you're going to sit up there and say it's under investigation because the police are corrupt. Now you're going to rule it a homicide.
Yeah.
First of all, I never even seen a detective wear gloves before. So y'all evidently it's in the open. Y'all trying to cover up something. How dare you say that is a homicide? Like the parent, the family of that man, that should be another lawsuit. Just for disrespecting the way that y'all just came with y'all conclusion. That is total disrespect. And and the white man is the devil that the boss.
No, absolutely, Joe. And what you're saying is heavy, but the thing is like at the end of the day, he's still a black man.
Right.
And because he's a black man, no one gives a damn about what happens to him. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
No one gives a damn about his wife. No one gives a damn about his children. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
The benefits that he didn't accrue, by doing the bidding for the oppressor. You see what I'm saying? His family is not going to profit that because they've determined that he killed himself. You see what I'm saying? But had it been a so-called white man, a so-called white officer, this entire earth would be in an uproar right now. You see what I'm saying? You'll see the politicians out heavy right now. You see what I'm saying? But that's where it goes. Like, we don't respect each other, you feel me? Because our people, we've been destroyed by our leaders.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We've been so destroyed that when something happens to us, we just turn the other, we turn and we could care less. But when something happens to someone else of another nation, that's when we come in. We in an uproar then. You see what I'm saying? Or it gotta be something high profile.
Right.
You see something that's going to garner some attention. You see what I'm saying? Like you're not going to see your Al Sharpton. He ain't gonna come out. He ain't gonna come out and speak out against the drugs that's being pumped into the black communities. It ain't gonna profit him nothing. Your Jesse Jacksons, your T.D. Jakes, your Ray Lewises. You see what I'm saying? They're not gonna come into the hood and fight for change and speak out against corruption. Because what would it profit them? It wouldn't profit them nothing. But let it be somebody of another race, of another nation. They'll come out full-fledged. They'll come out in force, you see what I'm saying? Because what they're trying to do, because they envy the oppressor so much, they're going to do his bidding for him, you see what I'm saying? They trying to get that ticket to the White House, you see what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about the one in DC. I'm talking about the one in these communities they live in. You see what I'm saying? They try to appease the oppressor, and they'll do it at the discretion of their own people. You see what I'm saying? And this is why we got to come out of these churches.
Right.
This is why we got to get far away from these Christian pastors, these Muslim imams. We got to get away from all of them. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Check the ball. Check the ball. Make sure it's good. Yeah, I mean, but we're gonna get some more in the scripture. We're gonna show you. We're gonna show you what the Most High thinks of these so-called leaders of ours. We're gonna get Isaiah 56. We're gonna start in Isaiah 56 and verse 9. I got Isaiah chapter 56 and 9. All ye beasts of the field come to devour. Yea, all ye beasts in the forest. You feel me? When they're speaking of this, when they're speaking of these beasts right now coming into the field, they're speaking about these heathens from these other nations. You feel me?
Right.
They're speaking about these heathens coming into our communities to devour. You feel me? Like I brought out earlier about the Asian who thanked the black woman for sending, for buying all the weed. And he sent his 3 daughters to Ivy League school. You see what I'm saying? Like, he is a beast that's coming to our nation. You see what I'm saying? He's a beast that's coming to our community. You feel me? And he's come to devour.
Right.
He's come to eat. You see what I'm saying? Verse 10. His watchmen are blind. They always say, they say his watchmen are blind. A watchman, the description of the job description is in the job title, you feel me? God damn it, you're watching. You see what I'm saying? You're a watchman. That means you gotta watch and see what's going on in and around your nation. You see what I'm saying? You gotta watch to see what's going on. You gotta watch to see what kind of policies are being passed. You gotta watch to see what kind of gentrification projects are coming up. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be watchers of this. But guess what? His watchmen are blind. You see what I'm saying? Meaning they can't see. Meaning they don't see these things. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't see that they receiving they receiving 100,000. You see what I'm saying? But a million is going to be taken out of their own community. They don't see that. They're blind.
Right.
They are all ignorant. You feel me? They don't have no sense. They ain't got they ain't got good sense. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They supposed to be the educated ones and the so-called leaders and stuff, but they're ignorant. You feel me? They don't know nothing.
Right.
They are all dumb. Mind you, this is not my words.
Right.
But right now, if you just check chiming in, this is Isaiah 56 and 10. They are all dumb duds, you feel me? They are all dumb duds, you feel me? Like, back in the day, when you hear dumb, like we say dumb now, like especially down in Baltimore, I don't know where this slang came from. I guess it's in prison. You like, what's up, dummy? You feel me? Like, that's how brothers greet each other. Dummy, what's good, dummy? You see what I'm saying? Like, when you heard dumb back in the day, that was a mute person.
Right.
Person who couldn't speak, you feel me? They deaf and they dumb. They can't hear and they can't speak. You see what I'm saying? So dumb meant, they couldn't speak. The Most High say they are all dumb duds. You feel me?
Right.
So a dub that can't speak. This is interesting. You know?
Right. We can't survive.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you're right. That's heavy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But Doug can't bark. Period.
Like, what the hell good is it?
What's good? You know what I mean?
We're gonna let the Most High bring this out. You see what I'm saying? They say they cannot bark. You feel me?
Right.
They're dumb. You got a dove whose sole purpose is to defend.
Mm-hmm.
When he sees somebody coming and approaching the property, he's supposed to bark.
Oh.
Roof. God damn it, he can't even do that. He's a dumb dove that cannot bark. You see what I'm saying? Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. You see what I'm saying? Sleeping meaning you're not on your job. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? Like you slipping. You letting stuff happen, and man, you ain't knowing it. You feel me? Like what's going on? You feel me? You slacking. That's what's happening. Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. All you want to do is you want to have a good time all the time. You know.
Right.
You know, all you want to do is you want to eat your unclean meats. You know, party with the people that the Most High told you not to party with.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This is what you love to do, loving to slumber. Verse 11, yea, they are greedy doves. They are greedy doves, which can never have enough. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. So they greedy doves. This sounds like the Christian church to me. Good.
It sounds like Christian church. It sounds like Al Sharpton.
Come.
It sounds like T.D. Jakes.
Come.
It sounds like every so-called black community leader that we ever had.
And right.
The sad part is, this is the people that we've been looking up to for the last over 50, not 50, but like 40 plus years.
Come. That's exactly right. You feel me? Like these are the people we've been looking up to. These are the people that we esteem high. These are the people that we look to and say, you know what? I want to be just like that when I get older. You see what I'm saying? And say they are greedy doves. Why do I say this sounds like the Christian church? Over the last 20 years, it's been estimated. It's probably, the number probably put out there is probably on the small end compared to what it really is.
Right.
But they've estimated over $420 billion have been poured into the black Christian church through tithes and offerings. You feel me? Not million, $420 billion. You see what I'm saying? And you still asking for money for a damn, building fund? You still asking for money to get the damn roof fixed? You feel me? With $420 billion in your purse? You see what I'm saying? You are a greedy dove, which cannot buck. You can never have enough. You see what I'm saying? All you do is take and take and take and take. And you take away from your own people. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You take away from blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. But guess what? You won't give nothing.
Right.
There's no way in the world that a black man, a Hispanic man, or Native American man should ever be homeless in the city of Baltimore or any ghetto around the world. You see what I'm saying? With these damn mega churches around here. You see what I'm saying? Right. What's his name? Elijah Cummings had a funeral up at New Psalmist. Had a funeral at New Psalmist. Thousands upon thousands of people came to his funeral.
Where's that at?
That's up there, Wabash.
New Psalmist. Okay.
Yeah, up there, Wabash up there. You feel me? Like, off North Parkway and all that around there.
Okay.
I mean, but nevertheless, you got all that space in that church. You got rooms for, you got children's rooms, you got spare rooms, you got every type of room that you want in a building. You feel me? The building is damn near a block, big as a block. You see what I'm saying? Right. But you can't allow homeless, black, Hispanic, Native American, you can't provide shelter. No food programs. You see what I'm saying? Greedy doves, which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. You feel me? All they trying to do is come up off the black man, off the Hispanic man, off the Native American man. You see what I'm saying? Right. They got the same spirit as our oppressor. You feel me? Because that's their daddy. You feel me? They ain't nothing but high price hoes. You see what I'm saying? They high price hoes. You feel me? That'll sell their own people out for $1. You see what I'm saying? And it's disgusting. You feel me? And if what I'm saying don't resonate with anybody listening, you see what I'm saying? You got to look at yourself twice, because we all know that the Christian church is wicked as hell. Right. You see what I'm saying? We got to come up out of that. You feel me? Right. And this is what we got to do. We got to come out these Muslim mosques. We got to come out these so-called conscious organizations and Commission organizations and Kemet and Egyptology and all this nonsense. We got to come out of that, man. Right. Y'all can say the Bible ain't real. The Bible is the book of the slave master. All you want to. You feel me? This is the only solution for blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. it's the only place we're gonna find our history on the face of this earth, you feel me?
Damn
It's
right.
in this Bible, you see what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Come get in these classes, man. ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. If it's not ISUPK, it is not the truth. You see what I'm saying? This is home of the truth. If it ain't under Commander General Yohana, it ain't the truth. You know?
Right.
Like I said, we are the ISUPK coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commander General Yohana. We've been bringing this truth out since 1969. That blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews of the Bible, you feel me? And here's the thing, we got a brand new school here in Baltimore. If you're in Baltimore, you just want to visit, you feel me? 3428 Eastern Avenue is where you want to be, you see what I'm saying? 5 little classes, 5 from Monday through Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And on Saturday, which is the Sabbath, from 10 to 12 before we go out on the street, you feel me, and go to war for our people, you see what I'm saying? Like we hold Sabbath service from 10 to 12 as well, you feel me? Come break bread with us, man. Come learn how to truly, honor the Most High the way the Most High wants to be honored. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Black man, come put your spirit back on, you feel me?
Damn right.
Come clothe yourself with holy, righteous garments of the Most High. You see what I'm saying? Like, black woman, come off the stripper poles, you see what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Don't stop being a monster to our brothers out here, you see what I'm saying? Come into this truth, learn how to be a righteous sister, you see what I'm saying?
Damn
Bring
right.
the kids, man. Let's get our nation back to what it's supposed to be, you feel me?
Right.
And with that, we're gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer Thousands Not Dissolved, you feel me, for the security announcements. Shalom.
Security announcement for the ISUPK. We are the ISUPK coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. This is the new rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother or sister enters into the school, they are to be off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves from the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular brother or sister, they must get permission from the head to speak to one another. There's another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, then a brother or sister get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, which means 10th in Hebrew, it is pronounced ma'ashura. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. The priest fund is a free will offering, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give to the school. Upcoming holy events, we got Hanukkah, coming up. Is our next holy event. Check your school, check your captain for further details or officers. Remind every argument to check in to our social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, and headbands or scarves. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, Minute Israel, Amaya Shabbat, Amaya, Barak, Yahaba Shemya Shabbat,
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.